Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Francis Pannulla. I'm a personal development and recovery coach based outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And today I want to do kind of a follow-up video, following up on a video I actually made about almost a year ago. It'll be December of 2022. I made a video about seasonal depression, seasonal affective disorder, the winter blues. I made a video kind of the differences in the two, how people are affected by one or the other, and things that we can do differently in order to give ourselves a better quality of life in the winter going forward. So I wanted to make a video kind of following up on that, saying some of the different changes and things that I've instilled in my own life as a person, that struggles with these things, and kind of see where we have made any changes since last year and how we can improve going into this coming winter. So let's get started. So now first, unless you plan on moving, fall and winter are going to be a thing. Now, if you live someplace that it's sunny all the time, I'm not sure. I haven't lived in Florida. I've lived in Texas previously, where the temperature does get a little colder, but it's not such a drastic change from summer to winter or fall and spring as it is in a place like Pennsylvania. So living any place, more northern where the days are going to get a lot shorter, it's going to get a lot colder, the weather's going to change drastically. It can affect how you feel on a physical level. And, I'll link to the previous video, but for people like seasonal affective disorder, you're literally going to be affected by the amount of sun in the sky. So the shorter daylight hours, these different things are going to affect you on like a physiological, like physical level with how you feel energy wise and these different things. Now, if you're going to stay living where you're at, like you're going to in some way be affected by it, but it doesn't mean I can't work to mitigate the effects of these things. What can I do while experiencing a day like today? This is the end of October, October 29th. It's kind of dreary. It's in the 50s. Yesterday was literally 80 degrees and sunny. Now today it's in the 50s and cloudy, potentially rainy today. What can I do to help myself on these days or throughout this entire season? So, all right. Something I think about is what can I embrace about the fall? What do I enjoy about it? Is it the coziness, like the fall colors? And I use this same strategy of what can I embrace about something with a lot of things that I can't change and I have to accept, especially if there's any kind of negative, a class I didn't feel like taking, as a kid, or now, something like the fall or winter. Something that, okay, like I'm not going to move. I'm living here. So how can I change my perspective? How can I change how I relate to the thing in order to make it not such a negative? What if I can flip it on its head? What if I learn to embrace and enjoy the fall? I become one of them, oh, fall's my favorite season kind of people. That's personally not me. I really love summer, but I'm learning how can I make it my second favorite season? Winter is probably going to take a little while to get there, but what can I really enjoy about fall? So, for example, with the fall colors, yesterday I was out at the park. Like I said, it was like almost 80 degrees yesterday. So I was outside, taking a nice walk, and people were taking photographs of the different colors in the trees, and it was beautiful. There's different yellows and reds and oranges and all these different things. And people were just like sitting there with their camera, like taking pictures of the leaves. I have a bunch of them as well, And how can I learn how to embrace it? So suppose it was a bit colder that day, but you're outside and you're taking pictures and enjoying the colors. Like I'm literally enjoying interacting with fall, a season that I may not normally appreciate, but how can I learn to? Maybe I get some really awesome shots and I'm really into photography. And by enjoying all the different great, scenery, then I can learn to like the season a bit more, if you get what I'm saying. So then maybe when I come home after, suppose it's all cold out, I got my great shots, I come back and I drink some hot chocolate, get a hot shower, and I'm all cozy, wearing some like fleece stuff or something. Now I can how can I keep it rolling? And this is my process. And hopefully like over time with these videos, it starts to make sense. And I don't put a single edit in these things because, I put my little intro, what have you, but I don't edit the things I say because I never know what sentence, what piece of information, what's going to be the most beneficial thing for somebody. What's going to be that one thing that you get out of it? Maybe it's how can I flip something on its head that I don't normally like and learn to embrace it and enjoy it? Because then I can remove all that negative connotation with to begin with. So it's kind of what we're doing here. So hopefully like that concept, that idea of how can I learn to embrace something instead of trying to keep fighting something that's inevitable anyway. Fall is going to be here, winter's going to be here. How can I stop fighting and embrace it? I want that to be like a core, philosophy that you can gain from this video as well. So, do you like spooky season? Now, personally, like I've been watching and getting like different. I like scary movies, spooky movies. While being cozy. The past couple weekends. When my girlfriend's head off, we've been renting different movies and stuff, and it's really enjoyable. Like for me, thinking about this season, I've actually kind of been saving a lot of these different movies for this time of year. So I'm like, okay, so maybe I won't watch as much spooky movies during the rest of the year, so that way come fall time it gives me something to look forward to, that we can watch these old horror series and different things like that, and enjoy it. So then to keep that rolling, combined with that, maybe we get some pumpkin, apple, and fall flavors of food and drink. So literally like it was like last weekend, because that's why I don't make videos every weekend, because some weekends, I'm just like enjoying myself, relaxing, enjoying fall, these different things. So I got like some apple pie. We got different, like I had a whole apple theme, which it makes sense because literally as I'm going out walking around the neighborhood here, there's a neighbor that has an apple tree like in their front yard, and I would walk by and I could see like this is the time of year that the apples start growing, they get ripe, eventually they're falling on the ground, but like this is the time of year for these different things, pumpkins, apples. That's why like fall and the harvest and autumn, like how can I enjoy it and learn to embrace it? Okay, so like apples are around right now, like make some fancy apple stuff with it, watch some spooky movies, get all cozy, got like a little fire here, looks like some little pretzels, some apple drink and stuff. Like how can I learn to enjoy it? How can I learn to make it festive? And it's interesting that another person I'd heard mention this concept, somebody on the radio, and literally this is like a radio program called like Preston and Steve. They're based outside of Philadelphia, but I think they're like nationally syndicated or have you. But the one lady, she always has this list of fall activities, like going to pumpkin patches, these different things. And they'd asked her how she got into it, and she said, actually, I have seasonal depression. So in order to make myself, learn to appreciate or enjoy the fall, I started going out and embracing fall activities, and now she likes it. So how can I incorporate all these different fall flavors, fall foods, fall type, themes like Halloween, it would be Thanksgiving, like how can I incorporate these into my life so I can begin to look forward to it? Now, we didn't get to like the winter part yet, where it's pure, let's say January, February, where it's snowy. Now, I know people that they're really into snowboarding, skiing, these different things that they can learn to. Maybe this is their favorite time of year because they can do these activities, you know, and here a little bit of winter, and I say no a lot. I'm not even going to edit that out. Who cares? Like, it is what it is. I'm authentic. I'm me. But like, I literally live, eat, and breathe this stuff. So my friend looks forward to this time of year. He travels around to, like, I guess Vermont, these different places. I've never been skiing or snowboarding, to go to these scenic, beautiful, gorgeous places. And he's like shooting video coming down a mountain, and it's unreal. And so if I can learn to embrace something like that or get into that as a hobby, maybe I'll really learn to enjoy winter. I'm not quite there yet, but it's something I've definitely thought about. So then imagine you're at the ski slopes in the summer and it's all lush and green. It's like 90 something degrees, how I love it. It's nice, and then there's like, insects making noise. And he's probably like, oh man, imagining all the snow and thinking normally we're all the way up there. Whereas for me, I love the lush greenery. But if I can learn to embrace something like a feet of snow packed down, to ski on or ride on, then maybe I'd enjoy it a bit more. But I think having a proper winter wardrobe is also key, because I think being prepared for the elements and making it not so physically uncomfortable for you to be outdoors and do these things can definitely make a difference. Because like I've kept walking and doing different outdoor exercise and things like that during the winter, at least when there's not like ice and snow right on the ground. But having the proper gear makes it a lot easier to be out there doing activities, that's for sure. So it's one thing I had to learn. And this is somebody who lives in Pennsylvania, but sometimes some of the stuff that's stylish isn't going to be as, great for the element. I've heard the phrase gorp core recently, and I think that's awesome. Like having stuff that's really functional. I have a waterproof winter coat that way in case it's raining and cold and all these different things. Like see this, it looks like a city street in New York or something. When it's like that out, I want stuff that's waterproof and warm. I'll wear layers. I'll wear puffy coats, everything, in order to protect myself. But something I also noticed as somebody who goes to the gym is by going out to the gym during the winter time, it's pretty nice and warm in the gym. There's a lot of, at least the gym I go to, it's lit. I'm also around other people, so I feel more social. So instead of just like kind of hibernating and staying in my house, it gets me out of the house, gets me physically active, gets me a little bit of light, perhaps, and then gets me like around other people, and it's getting my blood flowing, all these different things. There's actually at the gym I go to, I actually pay for, because I go to Planet Fitness, because they're like everywhere and it's cheap. And there's a tanning beds, but I don't even use them. I pay for it. But theoretically, I could get some more sunlight with that. But I'm comfortable just being there, getting my blood pumping. Maybe there's light coming through the windows. At least I got the lights inside the gym, and it's warm in there. But it really helps me. It feels less wintry. And even when I, if that makes sense, it feels less wintry. But like when I'm walking out of the gym to my car, I'm less cold than when I went in. And a lot of times, like, suppose it is a bit cold and windy, it's even like a little bit of moisture blowing. Like, I don't mind it because if anything, it's like cooling me down. And I feel good. I got all these different chemicals pumping from the workout, like your endorphins and everything. So it really does counteract some of the effects of the winter. Whereas if I just stayed in my house thinking about, oh no, it's winter out, this sucks, I don't want to go anywhere, I don't want to do anything, I would be less active, and not get those same, feel good chemicals and experience. So, in highlight, like stay active, seek as much sunlight as you can. I was thinking about this as I was making this video, that this will be maybe like 3 or 4 years now that I've made a real conscious effort to do something different in the fall and winter to improve my outlook on it and just make my life more enjoyable. And I've also guided a couple clients through it. And I had a client that now this would be a couple years ago, I think, like probably 2 years ago, maybe, that he had gotten they call them s.a.d lamps, seasonal affective disorder, s.a.d lamps, and said it was really helpful for him and that he would use it sometime, especially at night. Now, currently, I actually have a light on that I use for filming. And when it's really dark and dreary, and that's why I have loads of lamps all around my room. I normally would have everything on, just to keep it bright in here, because it literally affects me that much by having it dim, by not having enough light in the room. So get as many lights as you need. Use all the lights. So that way, on a day like this, it's real dreary. I might turn my even filming light on when I'm not filming for like an hour just to give myself more light. And I can physically feel the difference in my energy just by getting the light. It's like a little battery for myself. For people that are affected in this way, you will notice a difference. Or seek outdoor sunlight. Like yesterday, I was outside on the walk. I saw it was going to be really nice out. I'm like, let me do my cardio instead of the gym. I actually did it outside just to get more natural sunlight. So, and also socialize. If you are thinking of a way that you can socialize, perhaps volunteer. Just and then you'll be around other people, you're helping out, you get some feel good, and you're socializing simultaneously. I'm gonna take some. I'm gonna grab a drink, and then you could also hibernate. Just it's okay to have that, as the last thing says, that balance, that it's also not where you're go 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 all the time. It's winter, I need to be out, snowing and or snowing snowboarding, skiing, I need to be doing fall activities, I need to be like at the gym all the time. Like, your life needs to be a balance. If I'm just hibernating the entire winter, it's not great. If I'm pushing myself to the limit all winter, not great. As with everything, find that balance and listen to your body. On days where it's telling you, you know what, chill out, hibernate today, rest, warm up a bit. Maybe that's what you need to do. On days when you feel like you've got cabin fever a bit, and you've been in the house a lot, maybe put on that winter gear and get outside and get moving or something, or go to the gym, be active, go volunteer, these different things, but just to try and give yourself that natural ebb and flow, with your own personal energy. All right. And lastly, thank you. And as always, I hope these videos are enjoyable and informative. And, if you're interested in one-on-one private coaching, feel free to email me, FrancisP at premiumpersonaldevelopment.com, or you can visit my website, premiumpersonaldevelopment.com, and I'll put the link in the description below. All right. Thank you. Have a great weekend. All right. Bye.